Hey, what's going on? I'm gonna tell you guys something today, something that was super big for me, right? A story that's gonna help you out with trying to do things yourself because everything is connected. It's all universal, it's all parallel to each other, and I'm gonna show you how. So, I landed a spot in the New Yorker magazine, and I also was incarcerated when it happened. Like, I tell these stories because, like, at the time I was doing it for my daughter. I wanted her to see what was possible, even though I was in the circumstances I was in. But now that I'm out here, I'm free, I'm home, I realize that it goes further than that. Like, people draw on the inspiration that they can see from things, period. So to go, like, not all the way back, right? Because you can look up and see, what I was locked up for and stuff like that, and when I was locked up. But to go to when I got to Sing Sing Correctional Facility, when I got there is when I was more like mature. I was around like 30, no, probably younger. I probably was like 25 or something like that. And I realized, like, you know what? I can do things with my life. I don't have to, like, not do anything. I can make things happen while I'm incarcerated. I was able to see more of that because of guys like, Jermaine Archer, who I was around, Kenyatta Emmanuel, and Lawrence Bartley, all guys who you can look up and see what they've been doing. These guys have been doing great things. And I'm trying to get where they are, right? Because they're doing great things. And the first thing I did was I wanted to be known. I wanted to be a part of stuff. I wanted to accomplish things while I was in prison so I could say, hey, I did this while I was in prison. I feel like I beat prison because I did this, right? So the first thing that I started to do, I was doing art, painting. So with me painting, I was thinking, like, how can I really get known with this? Like, how can I, so I started sending stuff out to different magazines. I just was doing stuff. To me, that's one of the most important things when you first start, like, working on anything, is to just start doing stuff. I was just, like, working. And I figured out along the way what I should do, and what would be, like, the easiest thing for me was to get involved with different programs, because those programs are going out of the prison and they're coming back in, and they have certain connections. So I started working with certain programs. I also was just getting my name up and practice up as far as, like, just doing different art for different people. At first I was doing it absolutely free. Then I started charging when the volume started going up, because it's like there's no way I was able to, like, be able to still do it like that. And I had to make sure that I could survive, so I wasn't putting pressure on my family or anything like that to take care of me. And then what I started doing was, because I was really starting to get my name up with that, people started coming to me and saying, hey, you need to get in this program. You need to be in here. They need to have you here. People started being, like, my avatar for a lot of stuff I was doing, just because that, like, I noticed this about everything. People will say, how do I get famous? How do I make money? The best way and the quickest route to any of that is to be extremely good at anything. If you get extremely good at anything, the money's gonna find you. People need that done, and they're gonna pressure you to do that. Alex Hormozi had just talked about it in one of his videos, where he was saying, like, as soon as he got good at something, people started giving him handing him money to do it. And I haven't had that situation. I'm waiting on that. That, like, here's $15,000. I'm waiting on that. But yeah, people started pushing me in, and you can say that this was worth that, because they were pushing me in, and it's been successful for me ever since, even though I've stopped doing art since, and I started doing something else. And what happened was, I was doing art, I got into the program, I started meeting more people. I was in that program for about 3 or 4 years. I wasn't taking it seriously. I wasn't taking a lot of things seriously. I was, like, basically splitting up my time. I was doing art, but then I was also doing this over here. I was chasing girls. I was doing just all these types of things, and instead of just focusing all on the art. The year 2019 or 2020, I think it was 2020, I decided I'm gonna focus all of my attention all in on art. I don't know what, like, made me really come to it, but I just decided to do it. I did it. When I tell you, things took off after that. Like, took off crazy after that. It was amazing. Soon as I did that, 2020 was, like, a great year for me. Then and that was, like, crazy for me. 2021, what year did I come home? I think I came home in 2022. Yeah, so it was 2021 that really like hit. And that's how I ended up in the New Yorker magazine. I got in the New Yorker magazine because I was doing the programs for them. And then I thought to myself, they can't really do anything right now with the program because a lot of everything was shut down because of people not being able to be around each other. So I said, you can do art without people being around each other too much. So I started doing a bunch of different things. I got in a lot of like contests and everything and was like doing very well in it, winning the contest. And then right after that, I said, I'm going to start an art gallery because we had already had art galleries, like, but as a sideshow to the theater program that was already going on. They had like plays, and the side thing would be like art show. So I said, what if we just have a standalone art show? We could just have a standalone art show, and that'd be great. I did not know what was going to happen from that. They always brought media in. Always had media, but it was like news stations and stuff like that. This time, they had like this independent reporter come in, and he had connections. He basically, I guess, sold the story to the New Yorker, and then the New Yorker picked it up. And like when you think about it, this is a long time of me working before I got there, because 2013, 2012 is when I really took art like seriously. And I was like, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to go hard with this. I'm going to start learning how to paint and everything. And 2022 is, so that's 10 years. 10 years it happened. Like, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was in my cell and I got a photo sent to me, this screenshot. It was like a file, you know, because it was from the New Yorker, sent me what they were gonna no, they had posted already. I'm sorry, they published it already. They sent me my face drawn, like, and I'm in the article, and the article is about a couple of different people that were involved in the show, but I was the one who came up with the show. And also, not only that it was like my, you know, brainchild coming up with the show, but also you know, I was like the biggest like thing talked about in the article along with RTA. So it really was like, it felt good, man. It felt good. It was also great to show my family that, like, and to be like, yo, I did that from prison. I was in prison, man. I was behind bars. I hadn't left. Bro, I was locked up and I was in the New Yorker magazine. If that's possible for me, man, and you can make anything happen, bro. And that's just what I saw. And I was inspired by things of seeing like Lawrence Bartley having a camera crew in his cell right before he left. And guys like damn, I call him by his nickname, so I'm trying to remember his, I know it's Brian, but I'm trying to remember like his full name. We called him Fashion. And what he was able to do. And he was doing a lot of things from inside the cell. These things are possible. For guys, if you've been incarcerated, like you got people that were incarcerated for 20 years and they still were able to do things. If you're out here, you can do it. Like, it's possible for you to do it. If there were guys inside prison cells becoming famous, you know, by doing that, and not off of their crime. That's the one thing to remember. Not off of a crime that they committed. They were doing that off of talent that they should have been using when they was out. They made it happen. So if they can make it happen, you can make it happen. So make it happen. Listen and pay attention to the things that I told you. All of those things that I told you, that's the game plan right there. You apply that same thing. If you're smart, you do it like I do it. Apply that same thing and see how it applies to your life and how you do things and your swag. You can make it happen. Keep going, bro.